Okay. Okay, guys, so today we are going to, let me just see what's wrong with my, no, I don't want to page the page. I don't want to page the page. I just wanted to check the camera. There we go. Okay. So today we're going to focus a bit on the speaking tests only. We're not going to do much with okay. So we're going to focus a bit on these and how to answer these questions. But before we start with that, I'm going to talk to you about what we call intonation. Now, you don't have to worry too much about what this big word is, but it helps to know. The intonation means how we use our voice, the sound of our voice to when we talk English. Do we go up in volume or in pitch, or do we go down? Okay, so let me just, there we go. Now, we're going to try and answer all these questions without using any words in the questions. Okay, so if I ask you, for example, where are you from? I don't want you to use I am from Vietnam or USA or where. I don't want you to use any words from the question. So I'm going to force you guys to think of other words that you can use to answer these questions. And then we are going to focus on where we put our emphasis. Okay, so before we start, Tommy, if I ask you, how old are you? What do I want to know? Tommy, if I ask you, how old are you? What do I want to know? Tommy, can you hear me? Ellie, can you hear me? Okay, Tommy, I ask you a question. If I ask you, how old are you? What do I want to know about you? Let me just remove this. No, I cannot hear you. Let me see here. Ellie, can you quickly talk? Let me see if I can hear you. Ellie? Yes, Tommy, you can quickly go out and join again. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Ellie, can you hear me? Okay. So you can hear me and I can hear you. Elly, why are you so quiet? I can barely hear you.
Can hear.
Sorry?
I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's quickly just wait for Tommy to join again because I could not hear him at all. Okay, Tommy, try again. Okay, this is weird. Tommy, I still cannot hear you. Um, Let me see if I can. Nothing I can do on my side.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Now I can hear you. Well done. Okay. Can you hear me, Tommy?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So, if I ask you how old you are, what do I want to know?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay, but what do we call that? That's your age. I want to know your age. So, we are going to focus on the how old, the what, the where, and I think, I don't know if there's one question like this in this speaking test. Let me see quickly. No, okay. But essentially what we're going to look at is the what, the how, the where, um, and but it's not in this particular test, but there's also one we should listen to when we hear it. Come on. It's the do. Like, do you or don't, do you not like or don't like, or do you, those type of questions. But now, if I ask you how old you are, I want your age. Now, Elly, if I ask you where are you from, what do I want to know?
Vietnam.
Okay, but what we that is a place. So let me just quickly explain to you guys something. When I ask you how old you are, you would automatically tell me you're 14, or someone would tell me they're 21, or someone might even say 50 years old, because
Okay.
we now, I know this is just examples, because we know if I ask you how old you are, we automatically, without thinking, we can go to this answer because our brain does this identification. So, and the same with where. If you hear the word where, you automatically think of a place, whether it's a physical place like Vietnam or South Africa. It can also be first place and second place. So it's a certain place, either in where we live or what we achieved. So without using any words in the questions, Elly, where are you from?
Food province.
Say again.
I'm from Vĩnh province.
Okay. So how can you say, let me quickly type it. Just correct me if I type it wrong. I think it's correct.
Is P-I-N-H
Oh, okay. Like so.
and uh
P-H-O.
P-H-O P-H-O P-H-U-O-C.
Oh, P-H-U-O.
Oh,
Like so.
yes.
Okay. So how can I say this without using that word? Because that word is in the question. Can you think of another word that might fit here that won't change the meaning of your answer? Tommy, can you give me another word?
Um, know anything work.
Sorry?
Hmm.
You can remove from and add live in, and you would still answer this question. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. We are going to look how we can change our usual answers into new ones and change them a little bit without it being too complicated. Okay, so Tommy, if I ask you what hobbies do you enjoy, what do I want to know?
I doing I like playing sport. I like playing football in my spare time.
Okay, so I'm the answer that I want is what hobbies. So the year is your main focus for your answer. You don't even look at these, or you can. Um, this would be what we call the condition for your answer in your spare time. Because if you do something while you are at school, then you're not doing it in your spare time. You're doing it while busy. So in your spare time is when you don't have school or work to do. So now you said you play. Tommy, you play?
I play football.
Okay. So you can say I play football, yes. But remember it's what you enjoy. So you can spice this and you can change it a bit. You can say I like to play football. And remember, you don't have to restate this part. You don't have to make your day a little harder by saying this. Because the guy who asks you the question already know if you say something, it is what you do in your spare time. Do you guys understand?
That's it.
So
Yes.
you don't have to say I like to play football in my spare time. You can just say I like to play football. Okay. So Ellie, let's try your turn. What do you like to do? What hobbies do you enjoy in your spare time?
Um, I enjoy doing karate in my spare time.
Okay. Now, how can we change this answer that that it does not contain any of these words. Because now it only sounds like you took I, this, karate, and my. Because the rest is from the question. So it would look like, it will sound like you just, you don't really know what to say, but you know when to say something. Okay. So what we want to sound competent. Okay. Now, Tommy, you can also pay attention. So we can say this in in many different ways. You can say, I love doing karate. That's one way. You can say, I like going for, you can say, or you can say, I like learning karate. Let me think of one more way to do it. Or you can just say, now, if you compare this answer to these, you'll see these are very short, correct? But they are still full sentences and they are still valid. So you are allowed to use this. So, but remember, if you start using the words that are in the question, you will do the same for the next one and the next one and the next one. So in essence, you're not talking English. You're just, oh wait, whoa, what am I doing there? You're not really talking English. You're just copying words that you know how to say. Okay. So now I talked to you guys about our emphasis, how we have a rise in pitch and a drop in pitch. Now, when we answer a question, we want our emphasis to fall on what hobbies. Okay. So when you say, okay, we're not going to use this answer, we're going to use one of these. So if you are let's say you use the first one, it would sound like this. I love doing karate. So your emphasis is here. So these two words you would say in a slightly higher volume, a little louder. I love doing karate, or I like learning karate, or I practice karate. So your emphasis should fall on the hobby that you do. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Ellie, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ellie, pick one of these and repeat it for me, please.
Um, I learn I like learning karate.
Excellent. Okay. Now, Tommy, where do you do your favorite activities?
In my hometown.
In your?
Hometown.
Okay. And if you could be a little bit more specific, like where in your hometown? At the school, at the sports center, at the park, where?
In the sports center.
Okay. That's very good. You did not use any words of the question, and it's a valid full sentence. But always remember, if they ask you something in relation to your hobbies or school, you might want to give the more specific answer. Okay. Now, oh no. Okay, Tommy, now which word would you say a little louder? In, the, or sports center? Which one? Tommy?
Yeah.
Which one of these three words would you say louder than the rest? Where would you put your emphasis?
That's in a sports center.
Yes. Which one of these words? You can only put it on one word, not all three.
Um,
Look at the question. Where do you do?
in the park.
No,
In a park.
you would put your emphasis on sports center because sports center is where you do your favorite activities. Do you see what I mean? Tommy, do you see what I mean?
Was I can understand.
Okay. So what I mean with emphasis is if when we speak English, the way we answer questions has an effect on the meaning, the way the words sound coming out of our mouth. Okay, so if I say in the sports center, you would think I am not certain, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If I say in the sports center, you would think I don't care, right? If I say in the sports center, you would say, okay, I'm confident that's where he does his favorite activity. So the way we speak English has an impact on how our answers are heard. So if I tell you in the sports center, then I'm sound it might sound like I don't know what you're asking me. Do you see?
Yes.
So then I have not a climb in my tone in the volume of my voice, but a drop. In the sports center, you hear? I go softer at the end. But since we do know where and we have to give an answer, we in the sports center. Our voices get a little louder. That's what I mean by emphasis. So the person asking the question would know this is where I do my favorite activities. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ellie, how often do you do your favorite hobby?
I usually
What do you want?
I do my karate twice a week.
Learn.
Yeah.
Why isn't it typing? There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, Tommy, how often do you do your favorite hobby?
Is twice a week.
Excellent. You both did that perfectly. You both put emphasis on the twice without even knowing it. But I don't want you guys to be too concerned. The reason we're doing this today is it goes with your pronunciation. If you don't pronounce a word correct, you might even sound uncertain, confused, or and that may impact the results you get from doing a speaking test. Okay. But yeah, that's that. Let's continue. Now, Tommy, okay, Ellie, what other hobbies do people in your family enjoy?
Can you repeat, please?
What hobbies do other people in your family enjoy?
My family prefer playing basketball.
Okay, now let's change this one little bit more. Ellie, I tell you, if I say the word family, your family, who do you think of? Ellie?
Yes.
If I tell you the words your family, who do you think of?
Can you repeat, please?
If I say the words to you, in your family, who do you think of?
Um, it's my brother and my mother.
There we go. Then you can replace those people you think of with the word family. Do you see what I did? Instead of saying my family prefers to play basketball, I just said my brother and mother prefers to play basketball. So it's still a good answer to this question of what do other people, not all the people in your family, but other people in your family enjoy. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Do you guys have any questions? Tommy, do you have any questions?
What question?
Now, do you have any questions?
Mm, I have one question.
Okay. What is your question?
Why this lesson is hard?
Why is lesson? Because speaking English when you're not grown up in English is hard. Because the thing is, um, everything in language, like even in Vietnamese, when you speak Vietnamese, there are certain sounds that come with certain words. You won't even recognize the sounds because you're used to the sounds, right? Um, but if I had to learn Vietnamese, I have to learn how to read, how to write, how to understand, and how to speak. And then I also need to know how to pronounce in Vietnamese. Now, the pronunciation of a word is very, very important when you speak a language. Any language. The same with English. If I don't pronunciate hobbies correct, you won't know what I'm talking about. If I say hobbies,
Yeah.
do you see? It doesn't make sense. If I ask you, what hobbies do you enjoy? You would ask me, what am I talking about? Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
That's why this lesson is hard. I'm trying to make you guys practice your tone of voice with only one word in a sentence. So when you say that word, you have to really focus because you have to say it louder than the rest. Okay.
Okay.
But the lesson is going to become harder from here on because I'm going to keep bringing in stuff to help you speak English easier, quicker, and sound better. Okay. But that is our lesson, guys. Thank you. I will see you guys again.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. See you again.
Bye bye.
Bye, teacher.